Somebody go up to your brother, he's calling out your name.
The Listen for a Change project offers our students a good opportunity to kind of go beyond the classroom and have the opportunity to interview community members. And it's kind of a different aspect within our four walls of our school, and it's a different way for them to become educated and learn.
We have teenagers who will typically only interact with other teenagers, and then we have the old people. And they kind of, it just felt like each group kind of keeps to themselves. And doing these interviews felt like I kind of got an inside look to a community I didn't really feel a part of, to be honest.
Adults look at our students differently after they witness an interview or are interviewed by our students. They look at them and go, wow, this isn't a little teenage kid running around the plaza riding their bike and stuff. This is a poised, articulate young person who has the ability to communicate with me on a higher level. And I think that that gives those kids, too, that feeling of accomplishment, because they sense it. They sense the difference in the way they're being communicated with and approached.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that the students have the opportunity to really talk to someone in depth and listen in a way that I don't think we normally listen. And because people come from outside of our school community and they come from other facets of life and other life experiences, they bring something to the classroom that also doesn't normally happen within the four walls.
As they do the lessons, they're learning what is good techniques for body language, eye contact, and I feel like they can take those when they're going and doing community service, when they have to present themselves at an organization, if they're going and interviewing for a job, if they're able to, sit at a family dinner table and listen to their grandparents, listen to their family stories, and incorporate that in part of their life. So it's not just professional, but it's also personal.
I think it gives a sense of don't judge a book by its cover. Because you can see someone who's perfectly happy, rich, and has a ton of kids and a husband or wife, and them talking about, I slept in a box for 8 years. You wouldn't know looking at them. And I think it's important for people to understand that with hardships you can get through it.
I think it was very interesting to interview people from other communities, because you get to learn a lot about what they've done and their experiences of living their life.
Oh, it was actually interesting because when we were doing the paper thing, when we would draw about the immigrants, I learned that some people, not all, some people come to America different ways.
In my family, we don't have much college graduates. We probably only have one. And it pretty much, I related to her story by even though my family has low expectations, why not exceed them? Why not get more than that? That's pretty much how she motivated me.
It was cool to feel that he was talking like that, because it felt like it was just me and him, and everyone else in the room wasn't there, and I was just talking to him one-on-one, and he was just telling me advice on life, and it just really felt like he knew my life even though he didn't know me, but he was giving me advice of what I was already going through.
I think there's a common misconception that interviewing is easy, that it's just asking questions. And watching my students the first time that they interviewed, I think they had that misperception. By the 5th or 6th interview, you could see that they definitely got the rhythm, and they had watched enough good interviews by their classmates that their expectations were raised. And they had an appreciation for how hard it is to ask good, thoughtful questions that are going to, pull a really good story out of somebody.
Somebody go up to your brother, he's calling out your name. Oh, hiding under the covers with no one else to blame.
What I thought was powerful was just getting to know someone from across town that I don't really talk to.
Not everyone wanted to do it, mostly because we are put down as a poor school, like we're not gonna go to college and all of that, and they have like a big campus, lockers, everything, and we don't have that. So no one wanted to actually do it because we thought they were gonna be stuck-up kids who were just gonna show off everything they have, and we didn't like that.
Because not a lot of schools like to interact with each other. It's kind of like a boundary type of thing. Like, these are my friends from my school. I'm not gonna try to talk to someone from Maria Carrillo or LT or Pioneer or whatever school was. It's kind of like a little like group that we have to stay together, and we don't try to expand from it.
They have a nice school and everything, but they also have problems, and they're not stuck-up kids. Some are really nice. I still have the letters that my partner gave me.
It's like seeing the world all over again from a different person's point of view, and that's what I found like really powerful, and I actually liked it because of that, because I saw the world in a different way.